Hello students. Up till now, we have completed our HTML part. In HTML part, with the help of tags, we have learned how we can add images in the web page, how we can link one or more web pages. We have also learned to insert tables in our web page and also how we can create forms so that the users can input data in the form. All these operations are going to help us in designing. HTML is used to create static pages. This means we cannot perform any kind of functions. Any kind of mathematical or logical operations cannot be performed in a simple HTML page. To add some kind of functionality to the web page, we have to use client-side scripting. When we use client-side scripting, the web page becomes more interactive and also it can perform various mathematical and logical functions. So today we are going to start with client-side scripting languages. HTML is used to design static web pages. By static web pages, we mean we can design the web page, but the web page cannot perform any function. Using HTML, no logic can be implemented. So no additions, if I want to find out greater of two numbers, it won't be possible. So this cannot be done with HTML. There are variety of scripting languages that can be used to develop dynamic web pages. JavaScript is used for creating dynamic web pages. Students, we are going to learn JavaScript scripting language. JavaScript block embedded in HTML code makes HTML page more interactive. This means if the simple HTML code will have JavaScript also, then the pages will become more interactive. The users can provide some input and in return, the web page is going to give some output. JavaScript does not require any special software. So when we are using JavaScript, we do not need any softwares. The text editor that is used for designing HTML pages and the browser that we are using are the only requirements for writing JavaScript. Now let us see what do we mean by scripting languages. Script is list of commands executed by scripting engines. Scripts are used to generate dynamic web pages. Whenever we are using script in our simple HTML page, they are going to make our web page dynamic so that we can interact and the contents of the page will change. Scripts can be created and edited using text editor. So the simple text editor that is installed in our machines is used for creating and editing the scripts. The scripting language that we are going to study is JavaScript. So we should learn some features which are related to JavaScript. Students, before we start with the features, one important thing you must note, Java programming language and JavaScript are two different things. They are not related to each other. Okay, so let us see the features. The first feature is it is lightweight scripting language. This means easily you can use the code. It makes web pages more interactive. The basic requirement is that the web pages must be interactive. So that the web pages are interactive, we have to use a scripting language. It can handle date and time efficiently. JavaScript has different data types which are specially designed for date and time. It is case-sensitive language. JavaScript is case-sensitive. This means capital A and small a are different in JavaScript language. And lastly, perform input validation. Now, for example, when you have to enter the password, it gives you the indication that the password must have numbers, special characters, and uppercase, lowercase. So, and if you do not provide any of this, it gives you an error. So this is kind of input validation. Or for example, if there is a text box and where you have to enter a number, but by mistake you are entering some kind of text, then again it is going to give you an error that you have to enter a numeric value. So whenever you are entering some kind of input in the text box and that input is not correct, you get some errors. All this is done using JavaScript. Insertion of JavaScript in HTML. Now we are going to see how we can insert the script in the HTML page. JavaScript can be used as client-side or server-side scripting language. Now what do we mean by client-side and server-side scripting? Client-side means the local machine that we are using. The same machine that is your system is your client. The server side is a different machine which is present at a different location. The script is inserted in HTML using script tag. Now we have a script tag which is present in HTML. Whenever you have to use JavaScript, you have to use script tag. The JavaScript code is placed between script and closing of script. Script has attribute language. Now we must set this attribute as JavaScript so that the browser will know that we are going to use JavaScript language. Script can be placed in head section or in body section or in both. So whenever we are designing our code, we can place our script either in head section or in body section or in both. Depending on the code, depending on the developer, the scripts can be placed in various sections. Any number of scripts can be placed in HTML. So there is no limit on the number of scripts. We can have any number of scripts. JavaScript statements are terminated by an optional semicolon. It is always a good practice to terminate the statements with a semicolon. Once the statement ends, then a semicolon is present to indicate end of statement. Now we are going to see a simple program in JavaScript. So the first statement is doctype HTML. Students, this is HTML program. Only in HTML program we are adding one script block. So let's see how it is done. First statement, doctype HTML, HTML, head, title. The title provided is JavaScript. The title closes, head closes. Body section starts H1. It is just an indication for the heading. Display text. You can see here, this is the output and we can see H1. Next, script tag. So here we are going to start with the script. Language equal to JavaScript. Language is attribute of script tag and we are using JavaScript as the value. This will indicate that we are going to write the JavaScript code in between opening and closing of script. After we have finished writing the script, we have to close the script. Here, observe the statement document.write, opening parenthesis, inside the double quotes, hello, and closing parenthesis. Document.write is used to print any text on the web page. Any text that you are going to enclose in between the double quotes will be present on the web page. In this case, hello. Students, you can also observe H is written in small and that is why H is printed small. The way you are going to write it, in the same way it is going to be printed. Script tag closes, body tag closes and HTML closes. It is very important to close the script tag. These three statements, script language equal to JavaScript, document.write, and close script. These are three statements which are written for JavaScript. While saving the program, we have to save it with .html extension, and we are going to open it in the same way that we open our HTML files. Let us see the execution of this program. Students, here you can see the text editor. This is Notepad. We have written the code, and alongside we can see the execution. This is Chrome browser. So here H1 display text printed as it is, script language equal to JavaScript. This will be for the browser indicating we are writing JavaScript code. Document.write is used to print any text on the web page. Inside the parenthesis, enclosed in double quotes, we have the text as hello world. So here hello world is printed. Parenthesis close, semicolon. Semicolon is used to terminate the JavaScript statement. JavaScript, that is the script, is going to close. Body closes and HTML closes. Another important thing, D is small, W is also small. So JavaScript is case sensitive. If you are going to write any character in capital, it will not show you the correct result. Now here we can change any text. We will write hi all. Now everything is written in capital. Let us save it. While saving, you are going to save it as filename.html. This is a simple HTML file which has JavaScript embedded in it. Let us refresh this. Hi all. So the text that is going to be placed within the double quotes with document.write is going to be printed on the web page. So this is just a simple introduction of JavaScript and how we can use it. Next time, we are going to learn about variables and data types in JavaScript. Thank you.